Welcome back already to more Mars Dota 2 League. We've got ourselves another Aussie cast. It's going to be Newbee versus Invictus Gaming. You just cast a pretty epic game. I don't think this one will live up to it, but hey, we can try.
It might happen. You never know. I mean, you got all the top tier teams pretty much in China in one place, and a few epic games have to result. But
yes,
Newbee have been looking dominant up until this point.
they're 4-0.
They are
fantastic.
4-0, so...
And every game has been convincing.
Yeah.
They had the opening game, which was kind of a bit throwy on their end, but hey, they kind of just won the game.
They closed it.
They win games based on their draft and laning, for the most part, which is why I think that's really what kind of summarizes the current meta game. Like drafting and early game laning decides 90% of games in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But they're 4-0. IG, they're 2-2. Looking at the standings, you guys can't see them, but LGD are 3-1, DK are 1-3, CIS 0-4. DK, they can still advance. There's, I think, one scenario where that can happen, which is basically Newbee beats IG, and then DK beats CIS, which is actually the most likely outcome of those two matches.
Yeah.
Newbee undefeated. If they beat IG and then DK beat CIS, there's a two-way tie for fourth place between DK as well as IG. What could happen, though, is a three-way tie. If Vici Gaming lose LGD, then we get a three-way tie for third place. And then we may need tie-break matches or time rating. I don't know how they do it. Because that could be like
we'll figure it out if we get there.
But if we get that two-way tie, DK win the head-to-head against IG. So even though DK are 1-3, they could still likely advance. There's two scenarios where they get a tie, or three. They could get a two-way tie again with Vici Gaming, but that's bad for them because they lost to Vici Gaming. So if it comes down to head-to-head, they lose that one. So they're hoping IG lose. But we'll get ourselves into the draft underway. IG versus Newbee.
IG's turn to ban.
We get an Invoker.
Yeah.
I would normally say Ferrari 430 Invoker, but that's not always the case with Luo also on this team. Sometimes plays at safe lane.
Yeah, definitely have some options as far as that's concerned. Newbee working with only the Invoker pickup as information, are just like, look, screw this Invoker guy. We're going to pick Templar Assassin Enchantress. We're going to have an awful laning matchup for the Invoker mid in the TA, and we're going to gank him with the Ench. But like you said, for IG, it's not necessarily a Ferrari Invoker, and that means it's not necessarily a mid Invoker either, which is where I feel that Newbee may have left themselves a little bit vulnerable with this opening. I think it's still good otherwise, but I think there's also the potential for IG to exploit the fact that they've gone for the TA and the Enchantress so early. They can immediately start planning what they're going to be doing as far as their early game rotation, to maybe go and ward up some camps, maybe not even block the camps, but just have an idea of where the Enchantress is. And they've also still got plenty of opportunities to counterpick the TA. They've already done pretty well, at least as far as I'm concerned, in picking up the Dazzle. So they've already got the Poison Touch to help out a little bit there.
Newbee been prioritizing the TA for a while. They haven't been first duping it much this term, but in past tournaments in WPC they have, and even when there's no counter. So they don't really seem to care if people pick a Darkseer mid against her. I mean, there's no other really huge counters to TA mid. Like, there is that Venomancer, but people don't really play the Venom mid anymore. Yeah, Viper's not bad, that's for sure.
Viper's alright. I think the other thing to mention for Newbee is that they've been doing this quite a bit. So not only the TA Enchantress is motivated by putting pressure and ganking the Invoker, but also they're on the dire side. Super easy Roshan. If you pick up the 3 points in Untouchable on the Enchantress, you pick up an early point in Meld on the TA. Some people will even prioritize the Meld pretty heavily if that's the game plan, and another potential Roshan hero here for Newbee.
Newbee just say we're tired. We've had some long games. We've had to watch some long games just now. They want to end this one fast, it looks like. Sure, TA not really a pushing hero, but it's very centric on the mid game. Enchantress, Shadow Shaman can Enchantress can get you that early game momentum. You turn that into towers, you turn that into Roshan. Suddenly, 20 minutes in, you've got a 10k plus gold league. But
yeah, so we need a pick-off hero, I think, for Newbee as far as the offlane is concerned. Clockwork's been banned out, I think a very heads-up ban from IG, and they're also going to snag the Darkseer for themselves, so...
I don't know if Newbee want the Darkseer. It's not really a good pick-off initiator. They need more like a Centaur or a Nyx Assassin. I really like the Centaur and push strats, because a Nyx needs a bit more fun than a Centaur, because he needs its Arcanes than his Blink, and Centaur just is slightly better initiation than Nyx, but...
Is it time for just safe lane Axe for Newbee? Have they been watching CIS? Can it be safe lane Axe? I think it could be pretty good here.
Yeah, otherwise, what do you look towards? I mean, we're talking about all this heavy push, but they could easily just go back into a normal... They pick the Centaur, but they could easily just pick how, probably not an anti-mage, but they could get him something along the lines of, who knows, some carry. Some Spectre.
There's still plenty of space to
you said
change
it,
things around.
I do like their axe too. The Dazzle axe, and that's going to be Luo's generally on the axe, so
Dazzle Darkseer Axe?
I hope so. Every time I see these two heroes, I'm like, I wish they would just put the Darkseer as like a 4-position support and lane it with the axe, but it never seems to happen.
Yeah, and with that, I'm
10
starting to think
seconds remaining.
maybe a little bit more likely that we see the
5
QE
seconds
Invoker.
remaining.
Call is
Yes.
actually a very long disable, so if the axe gets his Blink Dagger and starts
Reserve
moving around, you
time.
can set up some pretty easy Sunstrikes that way. Also, they do probably need a little bit more, maybe of a late game core. We have seen the Quaswex Invoker has some really nice synergy with axe as well. Use Tornado. Tornado sets up into Call. Call guarantees the EMP, and you can go from there. So we'll see what the decision will be here from IG. The axe is also, they're putting so much hate on this Templar Assassin.
10
They really are.
seconds
They've got
remaining.
Yeah.
Poison Touch, Ion Shell, and they've got Battle Hunger now as well. So Refraction is just basically useless
Yeah.
this
I-
game.
IG's
to-
turn
It won't
to
be fun.
ban.
Won't be fun at all. Although, generally, I mean, even just that one value point in Battle Hunger is enough to burn through it pretty fast. So, do you think IG actually want to go offensive against the Enchantress? So, like, I think Newbee will pick like a farming hero for how that can actually fight early,
10
be it like a
seconds
Marana
remaining.
or Gyrocopter. He's
5
played already once
seconds
this tournament with the
remaining.
early Rocket Barrage. Like, you get that with a Shadow Shaman and an Enchantress ganking. You could still fight the tri lane from
Reserve
IG.
time.
Yeah, and the other problem for IG is that the only way that they can go aggressive is that if they make sure that Newbee don't have a hero that can sit
Dire
on the
team
lane
pick.
3v1, for example. So something like the Morphling, your Weaver, your Lifestealer, heroes that are pretty adept at just holding down the lane by themselves, effectively being an offlaner,
Yeah.
and then making space for the supports to roam around. Because if you're IG, that's not what you want. If you're going aggressive, you're doing it because you really want, you're doing it because you really want to keep the supports pinned there, and you think you have a
10
good
seconds
chance
remaining.
of doing it. So, I don't know, probably not aggressive from IG. We could see them start out maybe aggressive, just
IG's
see the
turn
lay
to
of the
pick.
land, and then if that doesn't work out successfully, well, they can always just rotate away,
And
leave the Darkseer there, and
I
call
think
it a
they see
day.
this Razor pick and probably even less likely. Razor, easy static link on the axe, and then just in general, it will not be a very fun time for him. If you're giving Razor a bunch of damage, any Enchantress with just even one creep, you don't even need the double creep to come in and fight that. So
Yeah, it could also. I mean, we
10
talked a little bit
seconds
about like the
remaining.
potential for a 4-position Darkseer, but it could of course
Yeah.
just be another support here
5
for
seconds
IG,
remaining.
and then maybe they could go aggressive. They could put,
Reserve time.
say, Invoker safe lane against the Centaur, which I think should be alright, and the Darkseer mid against the TA, but that's assuming that Newbee go for standard lanes, which is not a guarantee in the slightest. So I think if IG are going to go aggressive, they have to do things 100% right. They probably have to group up right
Yeah.
at level 1, make their way over into the Dire Jungle, try and scout what Newbee are up to, try and get some wards down to keep an eye on what the Enchantress is doing, because the Enchantress's movement is really going to dictate the early game for
Okay.
Newbee, and then maybe after all of that is said and done, maybe they see something that really prompts them
yeah,
to
if
to
they
go
can
aggro.
block the far right big camp and then
Yeah.
control the big camp on the far left because they're offensive trialing, they can easily just keep. They don't even need a ward.
Though
there, they
that
can
will
just position
force the
themselves.
Enchantress into their jungle, which is
Yeah.
something that they need to be thinking about
Yeah.
if they go
Okay.
for that play. Because otherwise the Enchantress is just going to be ganking your Invoker and your Darkseer, and that could be really troublesome.
Or they can just man up and do a quad lane. Darkseer Axe Dazzle +1. Ditch.
Just take the tier 1 tower by
Yeah.
2 minutes, and then
Yes. Go from
yeah,
there.
just go from there. Go to another lane, take another tier 1 tower. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Some teams there was like a brief couple of weeks ages ago in Dota where people were doing the level 1 quad lane fast tier 1 with like
Yes.
Darkseer and Enigma and immediately cutting the wave, and
Navi
taking
went
tier
through a
1,
phase. I think
but-
this was way back in Dota 1 where Navi were doing quad lanes like almost every single game for like a good
Okay.
month. Or at least like they'd do it like in half of their games. And it was just like, what's this team doing? They're insane, but it kind of worked.
Yeah, Navi always have their interesting
Yeah.
quirks, like
Yeah.
the Funnic ancient jungling with Quelling Blade and all that stuff. They've always got something weird going
Well,
on.
last pick, Shadow Fiend, immediately snagged by Ferrari. So this puts, support Darkseer with Lure on the Invoker. So probably a safe lane Invoker, Shadow Fiend mid, offensive trialing. Unless they're doing an offlane Invoker, which is possible, like you go your Quaswex offlane, but I would say unlikely.
Yeah, I think they've it looks like they have just decided, okay, 4-position Darkseer, and aggro try. So we'll see how this goes. A lot of it is down to just how the early few minutes play out, what the Enchantress chooses to do, what kind of creep she gets. There's a lot of variables here.
Oh, need my Dota2. I'm not going to switch to the camera like I did last time when I had to change my settings, because last time I did that I forgot to take out the camera off.
Oh yeah, people were just staring at us.
While we were
5
casting
minutes. for
like 2 kills. So
well, now you know what we look like when we're casting, when we're intent and
Yeah.
focus on the game.
it's honestly but don't look that animated is the funny thing. Like we're just kind of you're looking at a screen directly. If it's a crazy game, maybe there's some more animation.
Yeah, we're hyping and we're talking but for the most part we're not really moving all that much. And
my bad, guys.
God's just getting
Brought
a call.
my phone to work. That was my alarm to remind myself to take lasagna out of the oven. It's my lasagna alarm. We've got lasagna waiting for us.
Did you go and tell everybody that not to touch your lasagna?
Well, I told them to take it out of the oven and then beyond
Not to
that, do
touch
not
it.
touch it. But
Okay.
there were some pretty hungry people there. So
Hopefully the message got through.
I worry. They sounded very hungry.
They're probably gonna think like, how much lasagna can Gods actually need?
Oh, they don't know how much I need. But,
Gods needs a lot of lasagna.
I'm gonna hope that it's too hot to eat for a good 10-15 minutes, and that means this game can
30
end in 10-15
seconds
minutes,
to
and then we'll be set.
So you want one of these two teams to just completely run over the other.
Yeah. Alright, phone stop beeping. Level 1 surge, that's really bad news for IG. You do not want to be getting surge at level 1.
I'm a little bit surprised, honestly, that Faith went for that. I guess there
was a boots on Hal, so the chase potential was there.
they also got the slow off from the Enchantress, but
They see this and say, they're actually going to send Faith offlane, and that's with
The
level 1
battle
surge again, as
begins.
said, so... Jungle Axe, I guess, now the call from IG. I don't think this was their initial plan. I think they were trying to get into the jungle to block the Enchantress's spawns, but
yeah, like we were
Newbee
talking
were ready
about.
for it, so they prevent that. They'll have Lure safe lane, and yeah, YYF can be forced to jungle, and I'm pretty sure this was not the initial plan for IG.
Yeah, I think it's not the initial plan, but I think it's also a good call.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and yeah,
I'm on board with this. Oh, I like this. Surge the range creep.
yeah, this
Send
is
it off to its demise.
this is actually a tactic that some Darkseers used to prefer back before the offlane equilibrium changes. So
Yes.
instead of going for Iron Shell at level 1, you would surge one of your creeps as soon as it spawned. You would follow after it, and you would also be able to surge it a second time, and that meant that creep would suicide into the opposing tower, completely ruining the lane equilibrium, and then it would, in theory, bounce back off the tower onto your tower and secure some stuff for
He gets
you.
a very offensive ward down with the surge, but he gets spotted doing so immediate D-ward from Banana. Okay, his wave finally pushing out. He actually... I mean, the surge trick was nice and all, but I feel like he could have just blocked his wave, because the creep equilibrium at top lane met, like, up here, near the tower. Like, it was a really bad spot. Generally, Radiant off lane, it meets, like, around here.
Yeah, you need the... I think you need the... You still need... Even with the creep movement speed buff, you probably need the double surge, just to get it actually underneath the tower. And the other problem is that if the other team knows that you're going to do it, for example, they saw you pick up surge at level 1 because you used it, then they can just intercept your creep and get the lane equilibrium exactly where they want. So I didn't catch if that's what happened, but not that unlikely.
I think it's just the wrong... I think he just needs to go for a standard Radiant. Full, like, block the wave as much as possible and just leech XP by your tower till you hit level 2, but... the Razor got off a really nice block in that top lane, so that pulled the wave way back. Meanwhile, the Radiant jungle, Zhao Weight's gone for a bit of a roam through. He's got boots, he's got the 1 point in return, so he can contest his Axe jungle really nicely. Axe not the easiest hero to straight up jungle with, I'd say.
Yeah,
And Banana's gone offensive jungle. He's somehow... He smoked just to get to the enemy jungle. He smokes on cooldown. I didn't actually see his movement, but he's suddenly in the Radiant jungle with a smoke on cooldown, and also another smoke on him.
Yeah, I think he was considering going for the Shadow Fiend, but wasn't quite in the right position, and... Oh, YYF.
TA's
No one
got a
nearby.
haste rune. TA's using the haste rune and coming. Try to catch up to YYF. Banana going to take one raise. Moo would love to get initiation off here, but YYF under his tower, as is the Shadow Fiend, so... Not too much going to come from that.
This jungle Axe is having a really bad time. And
Yeah, so's this Darkseer top. And now Faith. He's got Surge is the good news, but the bad news is 2 points in cycling. Okay. No Plasma Field. How we're not with the most killing power there, but I don't think they care. They don't get the... Okay, it is first blood, it is a lot of gold, but they're happy just to keep him completely zoned out of this lane. Darkseer, when's he even going to hit level 2?
yeah, that's
a
the
fail
big
surge.
problem.
He surges the range creep and like blocks it himself / the creep wave. Like that's a sad Darkseer.
Meanwhile, dive mid considered 2 centaurs, but do they
Yeah.
have a slow?
Yeah.
No.
One centaur dies. Ferrari says, thanks for the XP, bro. Gets out of there.
Banana maybe needs to consider just not taking the second Centaur and just having enchant off cooldown for that one. Because then maybe he could have got the first, at least one of the Centaurs in for the stun.
It's just a level 4 TA, so like the damage up, it'd be close. It'd definitely be very
It's
close.
a gank that works at level 6,
Yeah.
but yeah, not at level 4 for the Templar Assassin.
Maybe like even level 5 with that third point in refraction could make a difference. But, yeah, it's a tough one. He was hoping for like that Centaur plus Dark Troll combo. He's going to come in again. YWF's jungle, and at this point he's not getting kills, but he's being so goddamn bloody annoying. He's leeching XP. Even when YWF is getting a few CS here and there, he's still just level 2. Maybe going to get level 3 off this Ogre. Nope. Gets shared. Enchantress just leeching that XP.
Yeah, the Darkseer and the Axe are both just having absolutely awful games.
Meanwhile,
so far.
Centaur's level 4. He's having a fantastic time. I haven't even been keeping an eye on him, but he's got 13 last hits. He's against a Dazzle plus Invoker lane, which I guess is why. He's got the same CS as Lure practically. Lure just 3 CS ahead of him.
Okay, it's only a dual lane for IG, so can't really apply all that much pressure.
No, this is disaster mode. Faith is just going to come mid, leech XP, try to get his Iron Shell up, I think. I think that's actually the plan here. Leech XP to get level 2. Yeah, he's just standing here at the tower saying, look, Ferrari, I know you need... I guess Ferrari's not hugely level dependent, like he wants his level 3 raises, but Faith just having level 2 could mean the world to him. Like, he could actually jungle, he can actually farm, like, and push out top lane a bit.
Yeah, Faith should just go team jungle with YYF.
No.
Just make sure that he gets that level 2, and then...
And when Darks is level 2, him and Faith can actually fight the Enchantress in that offensive jungle, because the Iron Shell Axe with a Surge is pretty painful. And Enchantress, no boots yet. You really need the fast boots if you're trying to offensive jungle. That mobility is pretty essential. So we'll maybe see those come out at some point. But for now, he's playing barebacked.
Yeah, Zhao actually going to end up being scouted by a Darkseer illusion here, I think. So, though IG not really reacting.
Zhao scouting them. I actually don't know if the illusion saw them. That illusion, it is nighttime. Let's see, how's our vision looking? Yeah,
maybe.
No, that
okay, I think IG are oblivious. Yeah. Nobody plays it this cool.
We've got a level 5 Centaur with Tranquil Boots here. Luo as well as Tron coming for the flank here. They've got double creeps though. Ensnare as well as a Shockwave. Ensnare not fast enough. He gets the slow from the enchant here. Luo going to shop, but he's going to cold snap, but looks like Centaur actually runs into YYF. Is Xiaowei maybe the one in trouble here? 1 raise. Ferrari, I think we're going to see our first blood. 2 raise, right click, Ferrari first blood. It's IG. Let's hop in Ferrari's backpack kind of game, it feels like. I mean, it's 5 minutes in. I shouldn't be being so harsh on the team just yet, but Lure, nice rotation from IG, bringing in both bottom lane heroes. I think with how the start was going for them, getting that first blood was very important.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, and Faith has managed to find his level 2, so things not looking quite so dismal for him. YYF is level 4. Still does desperately need to get a Blink Dagger up, but at least he's getting somewhere. And like you said earlier, he can just team up a little bit with the Darkseer, so maybe once he gets 6, maybe if Faith has some more reasonable levels at that point, he can smoke, Ion Shell, Surge, run at somebody, and maybe pick up a kill that way. So ganking for the Axe isn't 100% dependent on the Blink Dagger this game.
Yep. Alright, well, we'll see what the plan's going to be from here for both teams. I think Newbee are happy to sit back a little bit. They haven't got their level 6 Centaur. TA can get somewhat more involved with phase wands, but generally Moo likes to play a bit more, at least early game farm-oriented TA. If he finds runes which help him gank, he maybe rotates a bit, but I think he's in an okay position for now.
Yeah, and actually the loop around mid, IG ganking a little bit earlier than expected.
That Iron Shell Axe with a Sunstrike move takes full damage from the Sunstrike. He's going to survive it though. And now the counter ganks come. There's going to be a Centaur stun with all these slows coming out. YYF, he cannot outrun the Centaur stun. Surge is there though, and they don't want to go onto the high ground. They could have got it off of Shackles, but I think they quickly realized Moo was not going to fight, and all they had was an Enchantress Shadow Shaman, so getting a kill there, not really on the menu.
Ferrari was just a few points of mana short from having another raise, and that definitely would have been the kill. So a little bit unfortunate for them. You can also say, well, of course, if the Darkseer was actually a much more reasonable level instead of 3, then that would have also been a guaranteed kill, but can't really I don't think we can harsh on Faith too much there. I guess, again, I think maybe he could have not skilled the Surge at the start
Yeah.
there, but it would have required the axe running in and some other weird stuff to happen. So it was definitely the safe play, but he's paying for it now.
Yeah, he's getting zoned out a lot from this lane. It looks like
Radiant's top
Newbee are
tower
pretty
is under
intent on trying to get this tier 1 top tower. They've got the siege creep here. New creep wave
Dire's
coming.
middle tower
How's going
is
to have to
under
take...
attack.
no, it's not. Creep wave comes, and it looks like they really
Radiant's
want this
bottom
tower
is
with
under
this creep
attack.
wave. No bassering up, which makes it a little bit tricky. They have got the buckler. Pop. Okay, there we go. Pops the buckler.
Buckle
and this,
up.
This centaur, you're going to zone out the creep wave as much as possible. Meanwhile, in the offlane, Jiaweit's got level 6, so Stampede available for the entire Newbee lineup. And yeah, it looks like the push fails. Well, siege creep somehow died, and with that, so ends the push.
This centaur is doing so well for
Yeah.
himself. It's just
22 CS. Like, this is going to be 11, 12-minute Blink Dagger, which is just like your ideal like time for Centaur. You're not really expecting sub 10 minutes unless you get a 1v1 matchup.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're going full rotate top. And Darkseid's
Dire's
surge.
structures are
He'll get out of here
fortified.
okay. 2 points in the surge.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Looks like they're going to end up trading tier 1 for tier 1 unless Newbee can get back to the bottom lane soon enough. And with
Radiant's top
Centaur there,
tower has fallen.
I think they consider this. Get someone like How to
Dire's
TP
middle
in,
tower
and
is
it's going
under
to be
attack.
Moo keeping mid. So tier 1 bottom tower still exposed. Moo's gone for a bracer. So he likes to go for this phase drums BKB build and go for the damage items like a Desolator after the BKB. We'll see if he goes just straight into the BKB after the drums. But for now, IG want to continue to pressure, and it looks like no defense coming from Newbee just yet.
yeah. The only person that's gone for a quote-unquote greedy build this game as well is Ferrari, who just immediately ends
He
up
gets
dying
solo
mid.
killed. That's the Midas paying off. He's going to regret that one. And Razor TP's in, so make sure they get the tower deny, and
Dire's
looks
bottom
like
tower
IG not
has
able to
been
contest that
denied.
whatsoever. So yeah, that's bad. You lose your Shadow Fiend mid. You lose. Don't get the tower blasted at bottom lane. So you would be very pleased, and they can roach anytime they want. Really, maybe they want the Serpent Wards, but even without that, with just Enchantress, actually no untouchable, but just meld alone. Stampede forward. They want YYS here. They're going to catch him out with the shackles. The Centaur pathing a bit problematic, but he's going around for the full wraparound flank. But the real Centaur shows up, and that's Jiawei. He gets the chop.
And IG, how can they hold this? The
Radiant's
Invoker's
bottom
doing
tower is
alright.
under
They may actually get Jiawei here. This Observer
Dire's
giving them
top
needed
tower
vision here.
is
Hex is
under
going to come out. Jiawei just going to turn and fight. Sunstrike nicely dodged there. Jiawei getting very, very low, but he's kept alive for the time being. Ferrari going to go down for a second time in a row. They also lost the Invoker out of that. TP gets cancelled, and Faithman, get out of there. This Razor stolen 147 attack damage. You ain't fighting this guy.
And Newbee just...
Oh, Jiawei! He runs into a Fort Spirit. Please.
Radiant's middle
out of here.
tower has fallen.
Sunstrike. 5 seconds.
Sunstrike.
He's going to go for this.
Yeah, he probably will.
Jiawei's like, which way do I juke, guys? Oh, gets earned up. Wow, really fast.
Enchantress, heal, please.
5 earn charges on Enchantress. That fight was huge, like, just for those earn charges. He's not throwing Sunstrike. Oh my, then they're like, well, how do you double damage TA as Shadow Shaman hits
my
level
God.
6?
Middle tower is under attack.
Easy Roche.
Too easy. And IG just, they've got a no-impact Axe, a no-impact Darkseer, and...
Roshan has
Well,
fallen
for
to
the moment,
dead.
a Shadow Fiend is not really
Yeah.
looking too scary either. So it is all up to, I guess, the Invoker and the Dazzle to hold on here. But
Invoker's going back for a Midas, which
so-
is...
I thought Invoker wasn't
Ah.
going for a greedy build. He picked up those Phase Boots, but looks
Yeah.
like Luo still has Midas on the agenda. So basically, Axe, Darkseer, and Dazzle have to hold on somehow.
Yeah. And their fighting potential very, very non-existent. YYF needs his
Dire's
Blink
top
Dagger.
tower is under
Your
attack.
Darkseer ideally gets a mech in the
Radiant's
next
bottom
3 minutes,
tower
which
is
definitely
under
ain't
attack.
happening. So maybe if they win a big team fight, like mech isn't that expensive an item. Win a team fight, get some towers, and they do want to get some towers. They're pressuring the tier 1 mid, which comes at a good time because Newbee are bottom lane, and they do not want to be fighting Newbee now that Newbee have an Aegis. But TP's towards mid. Chuan actually gonna get taken out to start the fight. Doesn't get off a grave to start things off, and
Radiant's
Jiaweit's on the
bottom
chase with a
tower
completed
is
Blink
under
Dagger. He
attack.
started that fight. He wants some more, but it looks like he's not going to find too much more. Banana at top, the lone defender of this tier 1 tower, and what do IG even do at this point, basically?
I don't know. The game comparison is so stark. They have 2 Midases up against a Blink Dagger, a mech, and just like a drum, I think, from the Templar Assassins. So even though I can't look at the gold graph right now because I'm lagging out
There
completely,
you go.
but
I'll share.
it says 7.5k, but it's even worse.
It's-
There's 4k gold worth of nothing on IG just attack speed right now.
You're losing core heroes left, right, and center here. So how going to get close to that Aghanim Scepter with this? And there's the other thing is this. It's worse than this because Newbee are going to start taking every tower on the map uncontested because IG have no ability to fight the Serpent Ward's push with a Centaur Blink Dagger up. You come near the tower, you get blinked on, you instantly die. So the best IG can try to do is trade these tier 1s for like tier 2s. Jawade's going chasing, not going to get the hoof stomp off, but there's a Centaur stun waiting. The second Centaur stun. It's the Centaur bros teaming up. They'll get the axe kill. SF TP's out and yeah, 4k gold of nothing with the double Midases. And this gold graph going to just get even uglier as more kills come the way of Newbee and these tier 2 towers just waiting to be taken whenever Serpent Wards are ready. And right now, Sancheng, a bit out of mana. He's almost got a Blink Dagger even. This game is just... It's so over. Like, after last game, this game should be over by, like, the 25-minute mark. Unless something crazy happens from Newbee.
Axe gets his Blink Dagger, gets a Rampage chop.
Rampage chop, that's all we need.
Vacuum everybody into a 5-hero call.
Yeah. Into a Requiem of Souls. I can see happening. Speaking of SF, though, he's about to get solo killed. Okay, how chicken's out. I think it's probably the safe choice to back off, but if that was no one else coming into play there, he gets that solo kill with the phase boots.
Yeah, if he had more heroes in the vicinity, I think he would have gone for it, but just nobody else was nearby. So.
Hal was a bit manlier, he would have had that kill. He could have got that kill. He may have died to get it, which is...
Okay, Hal, time to drop the point booster and the mech, and then wand.
Yeah, that's...
Come on. Hal.
Yeah, that's like...
Oh, is he just going to go back? He's just going to go back. Never mind. I guess he's going to go complete his Ags.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
14-minute Ags on Razor, by
Not
the
just
way.
Ags. Your mech phase wand. Like, that's looking at
Lord.
He's 8.3k. TA, 7k, not far behind. And your Midas Shadow Fiend is so far behind these heroes. What do? You forward spirits, try and defend this, but that ain't happening. So Serpent Wards get dropped. IG, they've got a couple heroes top trying to counter push, but that's actually a bit of a trap here. Here comes Razor. Is there a Centaur nearby? Nope, it's an Enchantress with an Ensnare creep, and it looks like YYF will get the TP out. Smart decision. And Powder Knight not going to come. I don't even think TA needs... Yeah, I was about to say, TA does not even need to go to the BKB. Picks up a Yasha. I don't think this is a Manta style. Manta Rush is pretty bad on TA, but the value Yasha is pretty nice. I like the value Yasha.
Move speed's nice, farming is nice, so I think this is a pretty good pickup here for Mu. And IG, the only out that they have to play for is the Blink Dagger over on YYF, but he's gonna get jumped by 2 Newbee heroes, and down he goes. So Blink Dagger, a little bit more of a distant dream at this point.
Yeah. Meanwhile, tier 2 tower top getting taken. It's 1 kill for IG, and where are they even gonna find that second kill at this point? Maybe Newbee go diving in, but we've got Faith farming and pushing away bottom lane. He's kind of found the safest place on the map to farm, and that's as far away from his base as possible. And he will have that mech maybe soonish, but...
Mech doesn't win you the game.
No, mech does not defend your tier 3 tower. 15 minutes in the game. Newbee are sieging high ground with an Aegis. Serpent Ward's coming up soon, I believe. 35 seconds. They'll use to get that tier 2 mid, so... Newbee can just wait around. Like, they'll bring down this tier 3 tower just with the Razor ultimate, and then if they want to back off, wait for the Serpent Wards, they can do so. Still no blink on your axe. He's still 500 gold short. The wall's been dropped. That's a level 1 wall, and you just wait for that to expire. Tower, yeah, I'm about to say, tower just has to get denied. Like, it's going down the next high ground siege, so you may as well deny the gold. Not that it's going to make much difference either way. And Serpent Ward's 10 seconds away. IG are done for. I think they just lose Raxus and GG out of this straight. Mu just going to go rampaging in with an Aegis in his hands. He doesn't care if he dies here. Or maybe a little bit, but there's just Serpent Ward's. Mu's still alive. Vacuum, not enough. No. Okay, he's going to go down. Roshan about to respawn. I think that was just as the Aegis was about to expire, so actually not bad timing there. Centaur picks up a kill on the Axe, and these Raxus just left undefended. That was like 15-20 seconds before the Aegis expired, so it was actually really nice from him to just die there.
GG?
Yeah, no surprise. This game is very over. You lose your Raxus at this stage with this kind of a draft with double minuses, you're done for.
But the way that we talked about the theory craft a little bit there, but with IG losing this, they need CIS to beat DK to stay in it, I believe.
I could get a 3-way tie. Who did IG beat Vici Gaming, I believe it was?
I will have a look at...
Yeah, we can check the ticket maybe.
Okay, so IG beat Vici.
Okay. So that means we could, if Vici lose to LGD, we get a 3-way tie for 3rd place.
So that would make Newbee 5-0, LGD 4-1, and then 3 teams at 2 and 3 with
And
CIS
there's no
in that scenario.
and there's no
0-5.
head-to-head winner because it's a three-way tie. So
Yes.
in that scenario, IG is also okay. So IG has to either hope that LGD win or CIS win. One of those two things will save them. One puts them in tiebreakers. One puts them in. I think they're just in the playoffs. But I don't actually know if there is tiebreakers because the schedule's kind of like they're playing on land. Like they don't really have time for tiebreak matches. So maybe it's time rating.
Who knows? I guess we'll have to find out if it comes to it.
Has that other match started? It's not showing up for me.
Has it ended? Is the
That's also possible. It may have been Toby was not in that lobby we were just in, so he may have been casting the other game.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure.
What was the password for that? Let me check. Don't say it on stream. It has not started.
Okay.
So LGD versus Vici. We could maybe hop into that one, or we wait for DK versus CIS. We'll wait and see. We may just wait around for DK versus CIS because that'll probably start in. It's scheduled to start. It's 6:20 and it's now 7:10.
We're
so
pretty behind schedule.
We're 50 minutes
honestly.
behind our schedule, so I imagine they'll start DK versus CIS ASAP. So we'll wait around for DK versus CIS
Okay.
because if we hop into LGD Vici Gaming, we'll miss it. So, guys, that was a stomp. Thanks everyone for watching a stomp. I'm Gods. He's Baseskip. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, DK versus CIS is gonna be live in the Mazda 2 League. Stick around.